Hello, this is your Daily Scoop with Annie Sprinkle. It's Monday, March 14th. Welcome back to those who tune into the Scoop, and welcome to those who are tuning in for the first time. We've been doing this for about a month, and so you can go back to earlier Facebook posts or YouTube and find us and listen to previous scoops. Today I am going to continue where we left off on Saturday. I went through 10 things men can do to prevent gender violence, and this is an excerpt of MVP strategies, which is Mentors in Violence Prevention. It's a gender violence prevention education training organization led primarily by Jackson Katz. And I've said on my previous post, he's a colleague and a friend in this work that we do to end and prevent gender-based violence in our communities. So the other day I read 10 things men can do to prevent gender violence, and from our training and from our curriculum, we also have strategies for women. So as promised, I am going to share today 10 things women can do to prevent men's violence against women. So I'll run through these, and then I'm going to read a couple of survivor and victim stories from our Harmony Quilt, and then we'll close for today's scoop. Okay, so 10 things women can do to prevent men's violence against women. 1. Realize that gender violence is a major social problem that deeply affects the lives of all women. 2. Focus on how you, as an empowered bystander, can support other women by confronting the behavior of abusive males safely. 3. Gently offer your help and support if you suspect that a woman close to you is being abused or has been sexually assaulted. 4. Educate and empower your peers and young women to end sexism and not tolerate abuse. 5. Familiarize yourself with the resources available to women in your schools, on your college campuses, and in your community. 6. And I can help people find those resources. Just private message me. 6. Support women and men who are working to end men's violence against women. You can private message me to find out who those organizations are as well. Willow Center being one of them. Number 7. Recognize and speak out against homophobia and gay bashing. Number 8. Support women's sports as a means of teaching girls to be confident in their athletic abilities and strong in body and spirit. Number 9. Respect yourself and use your strength as an example to empower other women around you. Number 10. Refuse to purchase any magazines, videos, or music that portray women in degrading or a violent manner. Again, those are from MVP strategies and the MVP program. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple stories from the quilt. So those are just some things to get you thinking. And again, just some comments and feedback that I got on that previous story is, gosh, it would be great if I did have some tools or some tips or safe ways to intervene or be an upstander or a healthy bystander if I see something. So we will start by just continuing to provide the resources that are available. There's a website. There's the Rochester-Monroe County Domestic Violence Consortium. It's made up of 50 plus agencies. You can find that on the internet, and it's Rochester. It's RMC. Rochester Community, it's the Rochester-Monroe County Domestic Violence Consortium, DVC. So you'll be able to find it just by Googling it. Sorry for stumbling there for a second, but it's easy enough to find, and you'll find a website with those agencies listed. And again, the National Domestic Violence Hotline is on your screen, 800-777-SAFE. And then the local Willow Center number is 222-SAFE. So if there's any question, any shadow of a doubt, even if you have a question for a friend or a family member, you can call those hotlines and just ask questions if you have them yourself. And then they will help guide you in some of these conversations. Sometimes it's as simple as just saying, I'm really concerned for your safety, and I'm afraid it might get worse. So I really just want you to know that no matter what, I will always be here. You can just pick up the phone anytime, 24/7, and I'll put you in touch with the right folks that can help you. So I'm going to read a couple stories. Again, the victim stories, these were really pretty high-profile homicides back in the early 2000s. So some of these names, you might, any folks that are tuning in, they might be familiar to you, or you just might remember these stories in the news. So, I always kind of like say, oh, trigger warning, but because they are true stories, but these are pretty high-profile cases, and if you are tuning in, maybe you are a friend or a coworker or a neighbor, and you could know someone on either side of these families. So I'm going to go ahead and read this one story. I am 34 years old. I am a mother of 3 children, ages 7, 4, and 2. I love my family and friends. I live in a suburban neighborhood and enjoy music, movies, and shopping. I volunteer at the school my children attend. I help run the Learn to Skate program at a local skating rink and teach a beginner ice skating class. I have been married to my husband for about 10 years. My husband stabbed me with a butcher knife 22 times. I tried to defend myself and was injured in the process before he ended my life. My husband also stabbed both of our daughters. He killed our 5-year-old and almost killed our 2-year-old. Our 7-year-old son realized what happened and ran away. My name was Carolyn Zacher, April 8th, 2005. I am 4 years old. I attend my neighborhood elementary school. I like to figure skate at my local ice skating rink. I love my mommy and daddy. I love my brother and sister. All of this was taken away by my daddy stabbing me with a knife 8 times in my chest and tummy. He hurt me so badly that I could not stay alive. My daddy killed my mommy too, and he stabbed my little sister lots of times. When the ambulance got to my house and found me on the kitchen floor, my little body was already lifeless. My little sister survived, and she and my brother are safe now. My name was Haley Zacher, April 8th, 2005. I'm going to read 2 survivor stories that are sewn and stitched right next to Carolyn and Haley. And this first one was written by a survivor in 2005, and it's entitled, Why Do Women Stay? Why do women stay? Because they are afraid. Because they have nowhere to go. Because they think they have nowhere to go. Because they think they deserve it. Because he says they deserve it. Because they do not want to be alone. Because they believe him when he says he's sorry. Because they believe him when he brings them gifts and takes them out for a night and on the town and he says he's sorry. Because they understand him. Because he needs them. Because they have no money. Because they have no job. Because of the children. Because they believe it will get better. Because no one will believe them. Because he's so charming. Because boys will be boys. Because they love him. Because they think they love him. Because of the children. Because he says he will kill himself if they leave. Because he says he will kill them if they leave. And he will. Why do women stay? Because. The next story is written by a survivor from 1998, and it's entitled Survival. Abused women and children hide the real and show the false, suffering in silence. They do their best to stay afloat in the face of such anxiety. Deception is part of everyday existence. Okay, so I just wanted to share those stories. That's your daily scoop with Annie Sprinkle. I hope you learned something. I hope you felt something. I hope it moves you to action, to continue to listen and to continue to learn and to continue to say something if you see something. Thanks for listening. There's your daily scoop with Annie Sprinkle signing off.